turning points, new opportunities to start anew, destiny and catastrophe. Hello, you guys. It's Alysa Rushton here with your September 2023 energy update. This energy update is for light leaders like you, sensitives, intuitives, and empaths. If you are new here, I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for being here. Definitely pop a comment below and say hi so that I can personally welcome you. And if you always watch these energy updates, also say hi. I want to thank you for being a part of this growing community of light leaders. And I also have a quick announcement before we dive into this month's energy update that our doors for our Divine Light Energy Healers Academy will be opening soon. You can still get on the wait list. We are taking applications this fall. So it's your opportunity to get to be first notified, and you'll get some special coupons as well. So before we dive into these energies, I want you to think about a number between 1 and 5 as we start to dive into these energetic themes. All of these energetic themes apply likely for you this month, but whatever number is coming to the surface of your mind right now is likely the energy that you will be most closely working with. So pick your number, pop it in a comment below, and let's dive in. The first energy for this month is being redirected. So many of you are actually being redirected in a big part of your life. And they're literally showing me a woman who's been married and she's gotten redirected. She's been redirected to move. There's going to be a move in her future. She's also going to probably let go of this relationship. And these are big themes. These are big life issues that this redirection is about. And part of this redirection is really making new decisions and new choices. And it can feel a little bit like you're getting pummeled here. It can feel a little bit like, gosh, I can't take one more thing coming at me. And you have probably had so much coming at you. But ultimately, this redirection that's happening in September is setting you up for a series of events that are really going to positively bless your life. And if you look back, and this is the energy that you're really working with, if you look back on the last few years, you've actually known you need to make this change for a while. You actually have been getting all of the signs that it's time that this situation isn't working for you anymore. They're showing me another image of somebody who's been working at this job for the last 3 years, and everything in them, all of their life has been saying, don't do this anymore. This doesn't work for you. But they've been trying to stick it out, hoping for different outcomes, but nothing's been changing. And you know what they always say? Nothing changes until something changes. And you are the one that catalyzes the change. You are the one who gets to basically say, I'm no longer going to be in this abusive relationship. And that might be very much a physical thing that you're in an abusive relationship with, like a job or a way of being, or maybe even someplace that you're living. This feels like unconsciously you might have put yourself into an abusive relationship, for lack of better terminology, and it's just been beating you up. It's just been pummeling you. And finally, you're to the place where you can recognize, okay, yes, I am ready and willing to make this change. This is divine direction. If you have things come up this month that are closing energies down for you, just remember that you are being redirected. You are to do something new, and that this is positive energy for you. And the energy has really been wanting you to redirect yourself for about 3 years, they're showing me. So think back to something you might have picked up in 2020, or something that you might have known back in 2020 that really wasn't good for you, and you just kept doing it and doing it and doing it because you thought you were going to get a different outcome. Now's the time when the universe is saying that outcome's not really going to happen in the way that you think, and you've got to let go of this situation. Along with that, it's a great time to make some clear decisions, as clear as you can get on your decision making right now. Really asking questions like, ultimately, what do you need that is going to support you and your energy? Those are questions that, if you start to journal about that, will really open up a big packet of information for you and allow those new energies and new frequencies to come on through. The next energy that is big for September is new opportunities to choose higher timelines. There are a lot of stories happening right now in the news media and a lot of things going on that are designed to sort of keep you at a certain vibrational level. There is, how do I say this? A plan in place or on the books, I guess, to do another global shutdown with COVID. You have the ability to choose a different timeline. You have the ability with your consciousness to say, yeah, no, actually, that's not happening this time. Yeah, no, I am not going to participate in the same ways that I participated before, or I'll participate differently in ways I wished I would have before. So you're getting chances to cancel out, if you will, old timelines by deciding what you're going to plug your energy into with respect to these new timelines. Your consciousness actually matters. Your consciousness that you're bringing every single day, it is a huge piece of the puzzle and impacts the greater whole. And just as if you were trying to heal your body from something, your consciousness either helps your body heal or helps keep it sick. And so your consciousness actually does that also for the planet. So with September, I suspect there are going to be some bigger things happening. When I look energetically at the future from September on into 2024, this is a time of more catalytic events. And one could call it catastrophic events, types of energies coming through, especially towards the end of September and October. However, it's not written in stone. Nothing's written in stone. You can direct your frequency. You can start to consciously choose higher timelines. And we need a large portion of light leaders right now holding frequency, literally tuning your energy system every day into frequencies of new earth energy, of joy and bliss and ease and peace, and just in training your energetic system to that frequency. It will be helpful for not only you, for those around you, but also for the planet. We get to help shape the consciousness. We get to help shape the future. That is why you're here. And it's not always easy to see unless you're working with timelines yourself and you can see a lot of the potentialities, but your daily vibration, your daily frequency, what you're focused on really does matter. Now, that's not to say don't watch or intake information about what's happening on the planet, because I do think that's important that we know what's happening. And one of the things that's happening as we shift into higher timelines or make the choice of them is to understand current belief structures, is to understand where we could break free from old belief structures and start to really look at things differently. For example, a question that I love is, if I didn't believe this, what might I believe instead? If I didn't have this belief and I just looked at what I'm seeing, what would I believe? And if I didn't have this belief and I just felt what I'm feeling, what would I believe? And then start to merge the two. We're really getting to a place, and I'll talk about that in the next energy, but we're really getting to a place where we're letting go of being in belief with what we see versus being in belief with what we feel. Because we're at the place in technology where anyone can say anything and anyone can show you a video, and it may or may not be true. It may or may not be a portrayal of actual reality. And so all you're really going to have to go on here, especially as we move into 2024, is your feeling, is your intuition. And more and more and more of that is coming online, both for you and for everybody on the planet. So it's a really great time to, like I said, tune into your frequency and daily have a practice of increasing your vibration, upping your vibrational game, and really helping your body to facilitate those vibrational upliftments. Because also this month it is Virgo season. It is my birthday month. I was born on 9/11, and it is a time when our health is also coming into question, and we're being asked to do a little bit more around our health. So in terms of choosing higher timelines, you might also look at, where can you up your health game? Where can you up your vibrational frequency in what you're doing with your physical body? And that will be really helpful. Let's talk about energy number 3, destiny versus catastrophe. And so this can be really uncomfortable to talk about, but there are some stronger energies coming onto the planet, really designed to help people wake up, but you can view it as either destiny. It's a helpful tool to help people wake up, and you get the ultimate chance to get healing for yourself, and you can take all that healing that's available to you and really upshift. Or it can also be a catastrophe, and it really depends on what side of the vibrational scale that you're on. Some people will experience catastrophe, and other people who are standing almost right next to that person can experience it as destiny, as like their best life awakening, as them really coming into the fullness of themselves. So we have this very strong energy coming onto the planet. And what's really important to remember with this destiny versus catastrophe energy is that it's two sides of the same coin, right? It's heads, it's tails. Destiny, it's catastrophe. So if you have something in your life that could occur as a catastrophe, how can you take it and make it into your destiny? How can you take it and make it into the greatest, healthiest, healed, whole version of yourself? If you are witnessing a catastrophe, how can you hold yourself in such a high frequency vibration that it actually doesn't touch you or your family? Can you hold a different frequency of light? Can you hold a different vibration of peace, of ease, of love so strongly that whatever it is coming into the world and your world doesn't actually penetrate you? This is a skill that you're going to want to have. And one of the things I like to recommend to my clients and students is that you hold this ball of sunshine light in your energy field, and you practice radiating this ball of light daily, because the sun doesn't ever worry about things penetrating it. It's so big, it's so bright, it's so massive that the sun's like, how do I put my shields up? No, the sun never says that. So as you hold more light and become your own sun, you become in unity with the own sunshine self, that divine source energy running as and through you. It's actually a protective quality that radiates so much light that shifts the frequency around you. Okay, so it's a physics thing, but it's also an energetic thing, that when you're holding so much light, you're generating more subatomic particles of heat. You're actually changing your magnetics, and things that would have otherwise been a more upsetting situation can't actually come into your field in the same way. Also, with this energy, it's the last chapters of a transit that we've been working with all of this eclipse cycles that we've been having for the last basically 2 years, and we're about to come into it in October more strongly, but you might even be feeling it now. And this is the energetic of your stuff versus other people's stuff. So again, it's that destiny versus catastrophe. It's that your stuff versus other people's stuff. It's the last and final chapters of this. And so They're showing me a vision of a woman who's been living in somebody else's house. And the reason why she's been doing that is because she's in a lot of state of lack and doesn't know how to fortify herself and doesn't know how to create and generate the income that she needs in order to be fully self-sufficient. And so you're moving through the final pieces of this. You're moving through finally setting your life up so that you are fortified, so that you have what you need, so that you're not dependent on somebody else's energy to sustain you. And there is some really amazing healing tools around this, because I feel strongly that this dynamic comes from a dynamic that's set up in early childhood, where people who are in this place of sort of having a dependency on somebody are often they could qualify for a love addict type of a attachment style. And that might sound really strong, but it is a thing. Love addiction and love avoidance. I highly recommend the work of Pia Melody. I love her work. And what happens is we end up being dependent on somebody, and we end up having these dependency needs, and we never learn to fully support the self. And so if this is you, know that you're moving through some of the final stages of this, but there is some healing work to be done. There is some healing work around releasing the parts of the self that have set up this construct in your world. So if that's you, know that you're moving through something big. Get some support around this. I highly recommend Pia's work. Okay, energy number 4, catching up with a future version of yourself. So many of you watching this video right now have had this future vision of yourself. You've sort of known this is where you're heading, and it might feel in September that you're finally arriving, that, oh my gosh, wow, I've seen this part of myself before, but I was never really integrated with that part of the self. And so this month can very much feel like you're catching up with that future version of you. Like all the parts and pieces are coming together. And even at the start of this month, if it doesn't feel like that's true for you, I suspect by the time October rolls around, you'll go back and watch this video and go, oh my gosh, I met the future version of me. I met that healed, version of myself that's doing life in this different way. And so this is a really fun and exciting energy, especially if you can feel this coming right now and you're like, oh yeah, I can tell something's really about to change, then this is for you. And so this month, being really clear on your alignments, turning down things that are not in alignment with that future version of you is going to be really important. And really just setting your sights on knowing that this has been in your plan for a long time. You've been doing a lot of work to work towards this. And yes, everything that you've been wanting can come through. And I would say expect really big miracles this month. Expect for things just to drop through that blow your mind and show you how totally supported you are. Things to come through that just go, oh my gosh, wow. I just am in awe. I'm in shock of how incredible this could be. That's this month. Let's talk about energy number 5, the turning point where everything culminates for you. So this is a beautiful energy coming through where you can see, yes, you're making the turn. And by the way, so is the planet, because you're shifting internally. And this is a really beautiful opportunity to detach from that which has been holding you back. You really want to take a look and even write down some things that you have been doing inside of you that have been holding you back. And one of the most healing things you can do in your lifetime is take responsibility for everything in your world. So instead of being like, well, this person's holding me back, taking responsibility and saying, I've been engaging with this person and unconsciously holding myself back because of that engagement that I know is not good for me. Do you see the difference between blaming the person for holding you back versus I actually know it's holding me back, this interaction or this job or this way of thinking, and I'm taking responsibility for it and I'm going to stop that. I'm going to stop participating in it. So it's a really powerful thing to take that responsibility, to allow yourself to detach from that which is holding you back and really start to do some different things. Really starting to look at this September and beyond. What are the things that fill up your cup? And I was talking to a client today, and she said, well, this has been working for me, except it stopped. And she's continuing to do that which has stopped working for her. And it's not been working for the last year. And one of the things that we forget as human beings is things stop working. And when they stop working and have worked before, we kind of think, oh, well, maybe I can make it work again. And one of the things that happens as you raise your frequency, as you lift your light and your vibration, old things that worked for you won't work anymore. Here's an easy example. Back in my day, when I was in a lower frequency, I could sit in front of the TV all day long and it would calm me down. It would soothe my savage beast. It was really relaxing. And that once worked for me. And now, sitting in front of the TV absolutely does not work for me to raise my frequency. I do not feel a frequency raise in front of the box. I get my frequency boost outside in nature. I get my frequency boost from meditating or being of service or, slathering myself in essential oils, but I don't get it in front of the box. So what once worked doesn't work any longer. And so really letting yourself take a look at what was working for you, but now isn't, and letting yourself upshift and have new things come through to your awareness that you can use to truly, truly make the turning point. Because how do we turn? We actually have to choose and pick a different direction. That's how we make the turning point. So this is going to require you to possibly let go of some things, choose some new things, but it's a really delicious energy. And I think that it can be a lot of fun to start to explore those new things and new ways of being, even something so simple as down to your footwear. Maybe your footwear needs to change. Maybe you walk around all day long in plastic sandals and maybe you feel really called to instead explore one of those leather sandal makers who makes leather sandals from scratch, and you walk around on grounding shoes all day long, so you're always connected to planet Earth. So really taking a look at some of the fundamentals in your life, but also taking a look at some of the ways that used to nourish you that no longer do. Okay, let's talk about tips and takeaways for the month of September. So some questions you can ask yourself is, what is best for you now in your life? And what are you now creating? We have so much opportunity in times of global change to do something different. And we have to remember that matter is neither created nor destroyed. It just changes forms. So what forms do you want to change? What things in your life do you know that you want to create? Asking yourself, how could you get a little uncomfortable now to set yourself up for the future? When I look back on my personal life, one of the things I realize is that we tend to, as human beings, just want to be comfortable. We just want to be comfortable. And so we won't do the uncomfortable oftentimes, but it's usually the uncomfortable actions that we take that set us up for success. And when I mean success, I'm not talking about finances, I'm talking about soul success. So, what are those things that you could do that would actually make you a little uncomfortable that your soul's been actually asking you to do? Write them down and start to do them, because our time here is so precious and there's a lot of opportunity to make some real significant positive change right now. Ask yourself what you realize you're just not into anymore. You may have been into certain things and now you realize, oh, yeah, I'm really not into that. For example, you might have been really into playing online video games and now you realize it's kind of feels like an alcohol addiction, that it at one time it soothed you, but you realize it's more a form of checking out than checking in. If you are presented with two choices this month, really tuning in to the portal of your heart and really asking your heart to show you the pathway, asking your heart to show you what feels the most aligned, what brightens the most in the energy field. Where do you feel in your system like a forward positive movement would happen for you versus keeping you in that comfort zone? And now a card for the number you pulled. So for energy number one, the violet flame. The violet flame energy, this is a great energy to invoke the cosmic diamond violet flame, transmute all that is not love. Energy number one. If you picked energy number two, this is beautiful. The cosmic pearl. This is all about expanding your psychic gifts. This is all about opening the gate to angelic realms, calling forth those energies to really help you and help support you to lift the frequency onto higher timelines. If you got energy number three, it is soul satisfaction is your message. And this is really about honoring your uniqueness and really allowing your soul to fully come forward. And that alone is going to help you align with your destiny versus catastrophe energy. It's going to help align you to that positive side of the coin. So moving into soul satisfaction, what has your soul been calling you to do? What is your soul wanting you to create in this lifetime? If you got energy number four, lining up with that future version of yourself, you got create your vision. And I suspect you already know the vision. It's already coming into frame. And this card's about aligning with that vision, bringing it into your now reality and really letting yourself be pulled forward and do what makes your heart sing. This card literally says you're being nudged forward. So this is your opportunity to feel the pull, feel the nudge, and go with it. And lastly, if you got number five, the turning point, this is your angel message, your unicorn message, creative solutions. This is about thinking outside the box, doing something really different, and viewing things from a different perspective. So I hope you loved your message for this month. Be sure to pop a comment and let me know what your ahas and insights were. I love seeing what resonates for you. Pop the number that you resonated with the most below, and I will see you in our next energy update. Thank you so much for being here. Be sure to give this a like, hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe bell if you're not already subscribed so you can get notifications when we put out future videos. And thank you so much for sharing this with your friends. It really helps me and it helps this channel too. Okay, I love you so much and bye for now.